Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Steuben County Board of Commissioners meeting for Monday, November 4th. First item on our agenda today is Jeff Bassett with Business Impressions. Good morning.
Good morning. Election rain finally. Could use a little bit more of that, but nice to see you. Tammy had contacted us about for the campus maintenance supervisor for a machine and a color machine that would copy, scan, print the capability of, and just wanted to keep the cost as low as possible, get into it. I came up with a machine that had been previously installed. Actually, I use the machine ourselves, so it's my machine. And we worked the deal to trade in the machine at the treasurer's office. They have a printer that's 5 years old that they're no longer in need of, and so we're going to do that as part of the payment for this. And the rest of it would be just be the $450. That's about a third of the cost of the new one. And it will have the same contract, the new one. We already have something like this in the fleet, so this is not going to be a stretch at all for drivers and supplies and service. Does everybody have? It's a very simple request today. Questions?
I'll second.
Looking at the funding items, do we have anything on our IT civil?
It would be your Xerox line.
When I checked earlier, there's plenty.
Yeah, I believe he had spoke with you guys, and there was enough money in the Xerox QCAP line items to take care of that. Take care of the 450.
Like doing very well this year.
Xerox.
Anything further?
Yeah, the Xerox. Yes.
Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
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 Don't trust Dave that easy.
Yes. Morning, Sheriff.
Morning, Commissioners. Mr. Steuben, how are you?
Okay, good morning, Sheriff. Okay. Yeah.
Couple things dealing with the same company, SAS. Our cameras are all installed. We had the complete building replacement, cameras, servers, hard drives, all that. That's all been done. And that's what you're seeing there with that warning service and the remainder of the bill to be paid that I'm here today to, I guess, ask for that. The other part to that, which is number one listed on there, is for $35.50. Apparently, when we upgraded, there's two computers that cannot sustain how much information. Help me, Tammy. How much information the system pushes into.
The two systems that they're using right now are very old. It can barely run the software program, much less have enough RAM nor the video capability to actually run the cameras. So they I think SAS kind of overlooked that portion when they were in and looking at everything.
Yeah.
We do currently have it on one computer in Central, but it's barely plugging along.
So right now we're running, instead of having 4 screens or smaller than yours of views, we only have 2 because one computer's keeping up with just small views of that. If we can replace those 2 computers and we can bring our system back up.
And
I don't know how it got missed.
I have replacement computers, but they're just for normal desktop users. They're nowhere near what they would need for the new camera systems.
So that's an additional $35.50 in the request.
Do you need a funding source for that, or do you?
If I could, please, because Tammy doesn't have any.
I would rather not.
So if we could.
I have some large items coming up, so I'm not for sure exactly where I'm going to be at the end of the year, much less our path. So.
The additional ARPA, correct?
I think I came out of QCAP, didn't it?
Originally, I believe it was a cap.
QCAP.
Yeah.
Yes.
The total, yeah.
We're gonna use what's in that particular line item to pay the second item.
Right.
In full. So,
What about, opioid?
No, we're out of money on that.
Are we on money?
That's gone.
Okay.
You have, well, you still have cum cap.
Yeah.
You actually, the number on the colored sheets is off. Cum cap still has 101,333. Yes. You do still have a little bit of ARPA. If you can keep it all the same place that it came from, that would be great. That would be easier, but that's up to you.
Good money.
Am I right, Kelly, on the Cume capital individual?
Yeah.
I thought that's
what's
what.
left to me, 100,000.
I'll move to approve, take that some cap.
A second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
And the second item is just the finish of the application payment for this.
Yes, the auditor's office asked that we bring that over in the final.
I'll move to approve.
Second.
And any further discussion with that? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Working well?
Fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah, we're so happy. Thank you. Yeah, oh, yeah. Big difference.
Then you have a warranty service contract they're wanting.
So yeah, that's, and I believe it kind of coincides. I'm not sure. It's okay that it's a separate, that just on the final payment, it's what comes with the system.
Okay, gotcha.
So we get 12 months, any repairs, which is on the material and labor and response, they will for 12 months cover what they install.
Right.
And that's,
And then
it just
after-
lays it out there for you.
And then after that, if you want to keep maintenance on it, that would have.
There's I attached a rate sheet in there.
There's
I would assume you probably wanted to maintain that.
Yes, please.
The automation system.
There's no automatic renewal on that, is there? Automatic.
I believe the 12 months comes with the purchase,
Right,
yes.
but I mean, after that, it
Yeah,
doesn't automatically.
Year, we're gonna have to, I don't believe they're rolling automatically.
Okay.
Maybe I didn't see that part.
No, I'm just asking.
Yeah. No, this information was more basic. Once we've completed payment, this is what's also included in our warranty section. Because we have to submit the paperwork to complete the warranty claim, the service request. And no, I don't believe it's an automatic rollover.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right.
Second.
Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Hey, I just have a quote here, for approval, to replace two of our detective laptops that we currently have. We've already replaced one of them because it had obviously died. These are about 12 years old, believe it or not. I can't believe they're actually still in service. They were originally purchased by Fremont Court on a grant or whatever when Sheriff Charter was in office. So they're two small Lenovo's. So and one is starting to have some problems according to Detective Emmerich. So we need to get these replaced. Or like I said, the one has been replaced. We need to get these last two replaced. So I did receive a quote for some Lenovo ThinkPads for them with office and support. Two of them for $4,439.98. So, and that is a discounted QPA price of about $200 per unit from Insight. I do have funding under QCAP .10, I believe is where I usually take out all of the computers. Oh, any questions?
Move to approve. Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
That's all I have to. Thank you.
There you go.
That invoice that you had, Kelly, part of this. Right?
Yes.
So it's in addition to the 4920.
The 4923 is included in that invoice, in that, I'm sorry, in that claim.
Okay.
Yes.
Right ahead.
Okay, first item is the official approval for the Reeves electric bill for the upgrades, the receptacles at the park. Kelly, I believe you got all those, including the purple approval, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We have an additional. You did approve as well.
It was under $500, so it's only showing on the claim.
Okay.
But if you, it's all the same job. If you want to include that one as well, that's fine.
What was the total on that?
474.20.
They will all come out of the donation fund.
You're taking it from where, Scott?
Donation line item.
Motion?
We'll move to approve.
So,
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye. Next is the updates out to the park. This year's Christmas light show, we got 40 plus and there's still more coming in, saying they want a spot out there. So it's gonna be a lot bigger than last year. We have 17 more displays than last year as of right now, and a huge sponsor with the Tourism Bureau for doing our first animated motion jumping fish. So yeah, we have an on display this year too. So. Next on the park updates is the docks are all out, and a huge thank you to Trian Women for assisting with that. That was a huge help. Fairgrounds, campgrounds are all winterized. All taken care of. The leaves are still, we got majority of them raked and piles. We just got to get them out of there now. So exercise equipment arrived last Friday. Once the weather breaks, I'll start getting some of those out at the same time. So. 2024 venues, we ended up with 32 at the event center. Lions building was 18. Conference room, we had 20. That was a huge increase because Lakeland fire department, shooting range. They used to have conferences over there, but then they lost that, so they started sending them to us. So that's why we had a huge increase on that. So I think we averaged like 2 or 3 years before. We're up to 20.
Is it working better since we took the
Yes.
conference table out?
A lot better. And most of that was due, they would have chairs in there. They would have it set up and have like everybody on the projector. So they like the benefit of the chairs that way. So and we can send it to you. But majority of these use chairs only and use the overhead. So 2025 bookings, we're up to, I know it said 17 on there, we're 18 now, we just booked another one. That's for the event center. Then Lions building, we got 1 book for 2025. 1 grounds, we got somebody renting the grounds out there in 2025 as well. 2026, we have 2 of them booked in the event center. So we're still planning, so. That's all I have today.
Pictures in the article in the newspaper with the Trian Women
Yes.
doing the docks was very nice. Thank you.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you, Scott. Not 9:20 yet, but
Early's better.
Morning. Good morning. I have 3 NDOT 58 invoice vouchers for your approval. First one is claim 10 for preliminary engineering for Bridge 37 in the amount of $123.51 to Lockmiller Group. Second one is claim 19 for construction engineering County Road 200 North, in the amount of $28,366.10 to American Construction Point. Last claim is claim 17 for preliminary engineering countywide bridge inspection program in the amount of $1,425 to BLN.
motion for those.
Approved.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye. Aye.
Thank you. As far as updates go, County Road 200 North, all we're doing is finalizing final paperwork. That grant project closed out. 100 North, 200 West Roundabout, we're waiting on the property owner to respond back to Mr. Putney. Bridge 37, stage 1 plans are done, so we're moving forward with that. The stage 2 plans. Pocabachi South Phase 1 trail project. They're scheduled to start their geotechnical work this month. It's now November. Our small structure number 7, community crossing matching grant application. The state has sent out a notification that announcements for who's going to get receive awards is scheduled for November 7th. Take care, Daniel. Date November 7th, if you got that project or not. The community crossing matching grant project for received that January call, that's all completed, and we'll have those closeout documents ready for December. Fueling and salt barn project, they're working on the fuel center, not today because it was raining, but they are working on that. The lawnscapes got trees installed last week. The regular has the bollards scheduled for this week. Should have that all completed here. Those 2 parts of the job completed this week. County and bridge inspection, consultant selection, we have submitted that. Our contract with DLE for the next round to NDOT, but we haven't received back the draft for the NDOT LPA contract yet. Also, the this year's inspections are all completed, so that's done. Safety grant that we went after in October. All NDOT has right now is that at some point this fall, winter, they will let people know who received it. We did have a verbal approval for parts to replace a turntable, dump truck that exceeded $5,000. I need your official approval. Submitted the verbal approval.
Move to approve. Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify with aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Then, in preparation for this year's budget, 2024, we had budgeted money so that we could set aside some money in case we had employees that were willing to go get CDLs. So we would offer training. I drafted a training agreement based off what the sheriff's department has. I submitted that for you guys' review. We actually have 2 employees that are interested. One currently does not hold a CDL, so they would be potentially able to become a truck driver or move into a truck driver position if one of those opens up. And the other one has a B, but also Bs have some restrictions on it. His does have some restrictions. This would let him go to an A without restrictions, which would mean we can have him drive more equipment. We had set aside $14,000 for training of this kind. Getting the 2 employees through the training would cost us $7,295 plus the line item. Just looking to see if you guys are interested in improving this or more legwork.
I think it's hard. Have extra training for that. Yeah, that's what it's for.
To approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? None, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Post that out for everybody else too.
For all my guys, we just do general announcements that is anybody interested in it. We asked a couple of times and you guys came around and talked to us. So we had individual conversations. Then social media request, we're requesting or asking the commissioners approval to look into potentially getting a Facebook account, probably a Facebook and a Remind account so we can put out notices. We started using the Sheriff's app, but also put out pictures and more. Don't like to take up the Sheriff's departments. We don't have to. People could sign up if they had, and looking at Remind's free. People want to know if we're doing something in their area, they could sign up for it, receive text message for free. Just looking for better ways to communicate because sometimes our schedule changes on it as the day goes.
We're in the process of getting a new IT director with our HR, so I think this might be something we can hold off on until that position's filled, because I think that's something that that person is going to be more able to do and use those resources that need to be done. So.
And we're not in a hurry. So it was just something that came up in conversation this past summer about is there ways we can improve. We had wanted to use the Sheriff's app. We started using the Sheriff's app. We're working with the sheriff. I sent him the notice.
Yeah.
But again, our schedule changes.
There's multiple departments that I think are in the same boat. So I think we'll really look at something once that position's filled. In my opinion, so
Probably get the policy put together on how to use it and what you can use it for.
right. So yeah.
General operations updates. We started putting shoulders on Old 27 last week. We will get that done this week. Well, I say done this week. We're going to go from Pleasant Lake to the city limits. That's all we're planning on doing this fall. We are grading gravel roads. We are patching. We got a couple of small patching projects we plan on getting done this week. We're finishing roadside mowing, and then we'll be done with our roadside mowing for the year, and those get put up. We have some culverts we're going to get replaced this week. Back to the finishing credits. And ready for winter.
Good job. Good news.
Have a good week.
You too.
On to other business. Okay, payables. Yeah. 6 different items.
the last stuff they got cycle.
All encompassing $1,589,840.60. Those individually or all at once.
Well, the other cycles, wait a minute. Yeah, the other cycle's gonna have a different total.
A through F is not included in that 1 million.
Huh?
A through F is not included.
Correct.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve the regular claims and then items A through F all in one.
Second.
Discussion, questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, number 2 is payroll for November 1st in the amount of $535,462.07.
To approve. Second.
Questions on that? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Minutes for October 21st meeting.
Approve. Second.
Discussion, corrections? Favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Four is just a memoranda for our fourth.
Approve. Second.
Any further discussion? None, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Next item on our list is Delta T invoice for some repairs at the old courthouse.
That was on the verbal on that, so I will move to approve.
Also, so I will second that. Austin had called me and was looking for a line item, so I gave him building maintenance and repair. That's okay.
That'll work, yep.
You second that, right? Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. What table is this, Aaron?
I think it's in the commissioner's storage room. I think it's quite old, but I don't auction anything unless you guys say it's okay to auction it. So just something I think, don't we have like old commissioner minute books or something?
There's all kinds of
Boxes,
stuff
yeah,
on it. We had a bunch of boxes. A bunch of stuff was stored in there. And So we had boxes stacked on top of each other and they finally gave way. We went in there was a mess. So Austin was kind enough to put together and got us some shelving for in there. And so this table's still in there. And if we take out the table, then we will have room for more shelving to be able to organize that room.
Is that like a conference table or just?
No, it's just,
No, like an old antique is looking old.
just an old wood table. I can show it to you.
Was even worth auctioning off? Or is it?
We auction a lot of things that necessarily aren't worth,
There was something to somebody.
I know that, yeah.
You guys want to see it first or?
No.
It's just.
I'm just wondering if it's something that we can repurpose.
I don't know who's gonna want it. It would, if you want it to look nice, it's gonna have to be completely refinished, stripped down and refinished and just an old wooden table.
I'll move to approve. Sorry.
I didn't ask questions. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
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 Oh, they maybe not.
Might have a bill.
There you go.
Okay, the RQAW invoice. So with a opinion based on his review of the I correct Don in stating that that should have been included as part of the
Well, it's certainly required. You're talking about the,
airline flight.
yeah. But they say in the contract that they're providing those services. So I don't know, unless it's an employee of theirs, I don't know why you would be buying an employee from into,
But even at that, it would still be under their.
Yeah.
So there wasn't anything in there about the kind of being responsible for any,
it says that they will be responsible, it was a mechanical engineer. It says they'll be responsible for mechanical engineering services. I was trying to figure out some way that wouldn't apply, but can't think of any. So,
if they want, it's on them if they want to bring somebody in from wherever.
yeah.
Okay. Makes sense.
So I'd say we probably should send them a letter stating that that should have been included in their normal schedule of
Okay.
items based on our council's interpretation of the contract.
I will, get that around and then also have them send us a revised invoice excluding it.
Next item is a resolution regarding EMS and collections.
Okay. I have some questions on it. So as you read down through here, It says, it's hereby resolved by Steuben County Commissioners that any payment plan must provide that payment in full must be accomplished within 24 months of the date of the agreement, and that no payment be accepted for less than $25 a month. The question is, do you want them to sign a payment plan? It's referencing a payment plan. But this is supposed to be a signed payment plan.
But it's for,
Yeah,
EMS.
yeah.
I'm assuming, it could be, a lot of times these things are emails back and forth, but you could, something in writing, obviously, if you're gonna. If it's, there'd be something in writing, I would think. That'd be up to EMS how they handle it.
This is all brought about you. There's a number of accounts over there that are years old where people pay,
$5.
$3, $5, just sporadically.
So my other question to that then is on those, because I was talking to Jason about it and I'm familiar with quite a few of them. Particularly those that pay every month $5 a month. Do we want to put a date in here? This is effective as of this date, and moving forward, those people have to meet these requirements? The old ones, or
If you have an agreement with someone prior, I don't think this resolution is gonna change that.
Affect that versus going forward, yeah.
but if there is no agreement and this is just what they've been doing, we can do
Well,
that then.
there is no written agreement. However, you have a pattern of conduct over a period of time. I think you're presumed to have an agreement. It's
Okay. All right.
I'll second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
You have Jason on that too?
You asked me something about this. I didn't understand the question, Abby.
Were you asking the same thing that I was?
I think so, probably.
I think she was asking the same thing. He and I have talked about this already.
Yeah.
This is a amendment to our sewer contract. Really. Service for our elevator.
Yeah. They finally got the terms right and the dates right, basically the dates right. When they sent it through the last time, they had missed a line to correct, to make sure that it was only 3 years.
By Schindler contract.
Move to approve.
Second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Kelly, is this the final draw? Or do you still have some left?
No, I believe this is the last one.
Project is completed. Just one M. Distribution.
Move to approve.
Second. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
The annual service agreement with EDC.
The council did, and then pass the budget, and that has been sent to the PLGF, so you're good to sign this now?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Did I see that included the request for who's going to be the representative on their board?
It did, and that's a separate one,
Yeah,
and I put a note on there to wait till January on that.
okay,
Was Ken first and Andy
Yes.
second?
yes.
Thank you. So yeah, if we could wait until January on that, that's when that.
The first meeting wouldn't be until,
We need to bring this back on that. This is the appointment to that board, so we need to wait until this in January. For that, I see, no.
and a request to approve the wellness program service agreement.
Yes.
Stand on that a little bit, just for the record.
Yeah, this is, the wellness program has a tracking component, and that is what this is for through WellWorks. So it was approved in a previous commissioners meeting, but I had some intake forms and everything that I needed to complete before this contract could be drafted and presented to you. This is a contract for the WellWorks tracking component of the wellness program for 2025.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. No, thank you.
We were asked to bring the gymnastics,
Thank you.
room request back around.
Yes.
So it is coming back around. 13.
I will explain that. Got a phone call from, MSD, as regards to the overall price of this, gymnastics event. I think it seems like maybe our kind of overlooked our, the way we add to our, rental agreement and, the overall price. When you look at our agreement was quite high, because of the way we have our, rental policy laid out. I think that's something we need to review for the future for changing that. So my recommendation is we do the same as we did last year for now and just require, the charge for the custodial staff or any staffing that needs to be there to be reimbursed and not the, rental of the old cafeteria. We don't have really another name for it, do we? Just.
It's a multi-purpose room.
Yeah. I think for future, we need to look into that. How we do that.
I agree. I think there should be serious consideration given to that, given there's has been a very good relationship with them.
There has been, but it still is, like, quote unquote, a for-profit or, admission charge for that event. So I do think we probably just still need to reimburse at least our costs of it. Yep.
So are you putting that in the form of a motion to be equivalent to last year was?
Yes, I will make that motion.
Second.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, can
Yeah.
that motion include that you rescind the previous motion to charge them? Because that was an actual vote.
That motion will include to rescind the previous motion to charge them the full price for rental.
I'll second that.
Okay. Thanks, Billy. All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
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 And then we'll review that policy for rental
It'll come back around,
next
in December,
in December. Okay.
make effective for January,
Yes.
so.
Item number 14, ARPA meeting discussion. Is that just a set for our next meeting?
Yes, we need to have another one. I did not bring a report in here, but we're down to about 153,000 left that we need to get obligated.
I have some thoughts on it. I'll just share these with you. One, I would like to see the county have a long-term strategic plan done for the 200 North, 200 West corridor, including Crooked Lake Park. That would be a request that we would have to make to the ARPA committee for that. And some of the discussions I've had, I think probably around somewhere between 50 and 75,000 would cover that. Additionally, we're getting very close to the ESA with NIPSCO, and to help county council maybe fund that mechanism. Any remaining amount in that be placed towards that NIPSCO funding mechanism that we're going to need.
I would agree with that.
Those are my thoughts. There's still a fair amount. That would probably be Kelly placed in that project ready line item, maybe.
The NIPSCO portion?
Yeah, well, the NIPSCO and the study. That would require, then the study part would require us to put out an RFP to find an entity to perform that study. Again, for the ARPA committee first, then to us, right, but then to council.
That's fine. So when
Okay.
next meeting would we want it,
You guys want it,
before the council, like we've done before?
Before council,
hold on.
if council is accepting of that and the other members are.
So are we talking next week on the 12th?
Or before our next meeting? We got it.
Or before our next meeting, yeah, that would be all right too.
So I can get with Dan and Bill. Dan will be gone. So there will be
At
5
next
of us.
meeting,
Yeah, but he does want to call in. So if he can call in for that as well. I mean, I can set up, Abby can set that up for us. So Dan can call in for both, but I'll get with Dan and confirm that. Before the council, which would be the 12th, and so that would put that at 8 AM.
And I would say if that can't be done, then we'll do it
before our meeting, before ours, yeah.
Okay, first is the 12th. Second be the 18th. Okay. Yep.
That would give us December to make sure those final approvals and the appropriations.
Yep.
Probably have to have, in order to actually, because that's not a budgeted item for 2025.
No, I would have to do, we can do an additional appropriation if we have to. Council doesn't like it, but this is different. Who cares?
You have it in January,
Yeah,
probably.
okay,
But those are the places that we park those funds in, I guess.
okay. Got it.
Monthly comparison financial reports motion that they've done. Moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Excuse me. I've added a few other items. And I'd like to, we had HPG and to help us through a employee review process. Is that a good way to put that? I'd like to see us do over the next few weeks, second round of that going into the end of the year.
Sure.
So that we have a, kind of a year-end summation of it, and what we're looking at maybe going into next year kind of thing.
Yeah.
So maybe,
Do your employee reviews, is what you want to do for your departments.
for our department heads.
Not to put too much on Aaron, you're doing IT next week?
This week.
This week. Okay, so anytime after this week would probably be.
And those qualify as the executive sessions.
Get those kind of set up, get them advertised, kind of work, so we can all get into our schedules.
Yeah.
And again, I think what did we do, 45 minutes last time?
Was it half hour with 15 in between, or was it an actual 45? I'll have to take a look and see. Do you just want me to go ahead and schedule them and let you guys know when they are, or you guys want to try to coordinate schedules first?
I think it's easier when you can schedule them and just let us know.
Okay.
That seems to work better, I think.
Kind of along the lines of what I just suggested about the art. Kevin Summers had contacted me because of the presentations that he provided the commissioners regarding his request to do some development in the county park. And so there's some direction from us, either an up or a down, whether we're going to consider his project for that specific parcel of ground that they're looking at. It would basically, I believe in the discussions I had with Dawn, since it's a lease, it goes into a long-term situation. So therefore, it would have to go through us, then through council, similar to what a sale would be, even though because of the long-term commitment of it. And then again, I just did mention that I would like to see us do a long-term strategic plan for that out there, which would probably take the better part of next year, I would say, to get completed.
Yeah.
But to help him go forward, just to give him a yes or a no answer to that.
To the project itself or just the possibility of that project going?
It would be the possibility of that project going forward in the near term. In other words, we cut that out and put out the RFP for it, because that's what it would basically take, right? I'm not mistaken, you'd have to advertise that you were gonna use this parcel of ground, and you would have people present to you as to what they might wanna do with that parcel.
You'd have a minimal.
Yeah.
Rental, you'd have to have a description of
Right.
what they're
So
actually.
you have to go through all that process. It's still on a separate parcel. Yeah.
I would assume we'd have to have it surveyed and a
Legal description.
legal description placed as to what that parcel was going to be and what would be allowed with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I think, the project itself is fine. I'd still like to have public input on that. So I don't know if it makes sense to do that before we have the actual, study done. Maybe have a separate public input meeting for that parcel as well, especially for putting out for RFP. People would want to see their thoughts, positive or negative on it, so.
I think the long-term strategic plan, my thoughts on it is the way to go.
Correct. I think,
Put the whole program together and then execute, have action items to execute. That would be the proper way to go.
yeah, I would I prefer that it gets put into that and not go forward before that.
Well, I guess a couple. The long-term strategic plan down that corridor. Currently, we have considerations for sale of a couple lots. What is your thoughts? How that's going to be handled in regards to the long-term strategic plan? That's number one. The other project, such, you said that you don't have a problem with that. I'll say I do have a problem with that. So I don't know that it would be fair to Mr. Summers to suggest that if you have something prior to it, I don't know if that's going to complicate things. And you've had conversation with Don, I don't.
It just has to do with the lease arrangements. If you were to do a long-term lease, it essentially is no different than selling a parcel of ground.
As far as the process.
The process. My thoughts with the two parcels that you've been working with quite a bit, is that part of that corridor? Yes, it is. But I believe that so far the commissioners have been actively seeking to get that complete. And have those developed in the manner of whatever we advertise as, whether it's a sale or a long-term lease. I think we continue with that.
I think that would be appropriate because I know there's interest out there.
But I think in terms of that, what that's gonna look like over the long term, I think that's a good process to have.
Yeah, I mean, I would honestly think that all these be incorporated into that study, because if you use them and just, talking about a TIF district or something like that, that needs to be set in place before we go and do any other items, because those items wouldn't, we understand it, wouldn't count into that district if we did it before. Yeah, so those things need to be worked out, and
Did you say TIF district?
as given an example, I mean, there's multiple things we can do with it.
No. I was just asking, so in leading up to that, are you talking a county TIF district or would that possibility?
Geographic area.
Yeah.
Okay, whether it would be in the city limits or.
Right. It's something that's been just discussed, and I'm just saying you have to have that study done first on how you want to do it before you do any development in that
Right.
area, because then that development wouldn't count in
Yeah.
that district, so.
Because the only reason I brought it up is because it was, TIF districts were brought up at my last conference.
Yeah.
And so if that is something you guys are thinking about, I really want to be included in that conversation as far as how a county TIF district would go as well.
Right, and that's all, but again, that's all part of that study
Right.
that we need to have done first, of how that would look, or if that's beneficial. That's part of
Yeah.
that we need to incorporate into that study before I think we can go
Yeah.
further on much else, because that would be,
And EDC was very much
yes,
as well.
yes. So,
So by my understanding that our answer to Mr. Summers right now is we want to see that development plan prior to doing anything in the park.
that's
Was
what
that
I,
fair?
yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't say we're saying no to his proposal, we just need to see that laid out in that and included in the study.
What that shows.
Yes, this would be my recommendation.
I just wanted clarification because of Commissioner Laughlin's comment initially that he didn't have a problem with it. And then Mr. Summers assumed that it's a go-ahead there.
No, I think it's more, I didn't have a problem with it going forward, like not saying absolutely not. And shut, yeah. Like you want to
We're
know,
not to the point where we're ready to, or where the commissioners are ready to segregate that particular parcel of ground and put an RFP out for it.
correct. I believe not. No, I'm not saying we're never gonna do that project.
Whenever is a long time.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But I think the public input needs to be done, and that'll all be done through that study, and that's where that can be vetted. It's my opinion.
Information I need to provide Dan. Just a brief discussion. Jason with EMS is putting together a training program right now. It's been a long ongoing discussions of the potential to have nurses assist with transport on the back of our vehicles. They would become our employee, so it would require probably a job classification and a job description for them.
But they're not full-time.
No, they'd
Be
part-time.
on-call part-time as needed, and currently you don't need, not that it isn't in the best practice to have one, but it doesn't have to go through the process that a full-time.
I think we should still have that job description in place. So maybe you could work with him in getting that as he gets that training put together. It would require some discussions with council. It wouldn't be an additional appropriation, but it would be moving funding from overtime or regular wages to a different line item to pay those nurses. Because they're separate from the medical personnel. They would be actually our employees. We would be doing the ambulance billing on them. You know, you're talking a program that it's probably going to take, I guess, 30 to 60 days to just get the draft information completed, and then probably another 60 days after that to get people involved with it and trained. But it may help alleviate some of that, some of those staffing issues.
And this is just for transfers.
It's just for transfers.
Right,
Really. Yeah,
make that clear.
The state actually sets those guidelines, and that's all it's allowable for. In other words, if we had a driver and a nurse in the back of the vehicle doing a transport to a hospital in a town, and there was a response call needed as they're returning, make that response call. It's just for transports only.
Just make sure we had it on record.
So that discussion will be going forward as we develop those policies, and then all come back through the commissioners and through council.
So at this, excuse me, so at this time, Aaron or myself only need to get with Jason and work on job classifications for the
Job
nurses.
description and that, and so forth.
Okay.
As he and Andy develop what the training program's gonna look like for that.
Okay.
And then, with regards to the salary ordinance, then that would require a change in 2025.
Right.
Would it be in our best interest to take a look at that before 2025, or just deal with it when the time comes?
I think we look at it as we get it developed. It's still pretty fluid at this point as to what the pay is going to look like and
Okay. Yeah. So I will not include any of that on the salary ordinance then for the
I would-
council.
No. I've requested Isaac Lee to make an ask of the county commissioners. We have our project ready line item And we are in the process of working through the ESA with NIPSCO. I requested that he make a formal request to the commissioners to have some of that project-ready funding transferred to EDC for the purpose of those contract supervision type items. In other words, we have consultants, we have attorneys that look at those, just to kind of follow that process. You're getting the NIPSCO situation resolved. So that'll be a formal request of us. It's already a budgeted item. It'd just be a request from the EDC to have it available to them, so that it can be used for that purpose. And we can have the discussion as to whether we will allow that or not allow that at the time he makes the formal request.
Is that something that we will be seeing still in 24? Okay. Make sure that, yes. And you have to.
I don't know if any of you have driven past the jail lately and saw the beautiful paint on the steps. You notice that? No, well, I can encourage you to go. This has been an ongoing item that's been, needs to be part of the jail maintenance programs. I had suggested to RJ that him and Director Austin, yeah, take a look at that. Because we still have some funding available this year that we could commit to that project. Even if it doesn't get completed this year, we can get a contract in place and get it encumbered for whether appropriate time would be to have that completed. But if I encourage you to go by, they just painted like orange spray paint over the bad part so people can see it.
Unfortunately, it needs to be done because there's some bad sections.
Yeah.
I think Austin was just waiting on a second quote for that, so.
So that may be coming.
Right.
Commissioners' chairs, commissioners' rooms, commissioners' room. Let's get the S's in the right place. I know I just said I was pretty comfortable with the chairs I have, but I just had to change chairs because the one I just sat in, I about fell over. I think I'm already figured that.
Yeah, my opinion on it is it's not a luxury, it's just a general maintenance. You know, these are 30 years old, it's time to replace, sorry. But,
yeah, after I did that, and then the one I did get, buttons missing on it, which again, not a huge deal, but it's not very professional look.
So are you wanting to?
you want to bring the motion up again?
I think you can bring the motion up again. That's what I wanted to.
I will move to approve the purchase of the new chairs for the commissioners.
And I'll second, we can have discussion on it.
And the new chairs at the price that we recorded.
Yes.
$7,000.
Yes. And it also includes installation.
Assembly.
Assembly, thank you.
I was gonna say, I can install them.
No, sorry.
I can put them on the elevator. And put them in the hallway.
No,
Probably find somebody to help me too.
they are going to assemble them. for a very good price.
For a personal, I had a chair break in my office not long ago, and I had cardboard boxes with product in it. It lasted for about 2 months before I finally had enough of it and said I need to get a chair. And I think you brought this up. I think there's better places that we could probably put that money to use for our county. But as hard as council works when they're in there for their budget session and their support staff from the auditors,
They do get a lot of use. These chairs get a lot of
there's
use.
a lot of use. And with the fact that we have other meetings being held in here now with our electronic capability. It's probably not.
Mix match of chairs now, make everything coordinates.
Any thoughts, Ken?
I think there are so that it could be better spent.
I disagree with that. Okay, further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, the same?
Aye.
All right. Anything else since I've taken this a little further than what we had anticipated?
Yes, I have two things. The first one is Chip still here? No, he's gone. I took another look at the survey out there, your little corridor out there for the easement for the parcel. Mr. Parcell, is that his name? I'm pretty sure. I redid the survey again. I have an invoice here for $205. That I need here, you guys. Pass that down.
Is that the temporary easement?
Yes, it is. And I do have a copy of the survey if you guys want to see it, but it does show the temporary ingress and egress easement on here.
Was there a time limitation on that temporary?
It was until, there was languages until certain events occurred. I don't have it with me. I haven't seen the new survey yet either.
Here, some copy. I brought them all in.
Copy.
Huh?
I need a copy, yeah,
Yes.
there's the documents.
Three of them
Didn't
here.
fall off. It was from Benson.
Set it down. And do you want, I was gonna say, I could check with Rollins and see if they will forward us. I would like to have it in electronic format so that we can save it on the computer. I can forward you that also. You want?
Oh, this is fine.
Okay.
So we just, in order to get that finished up, that's all we need for you, Don.
That's all I need. You'll have to approve the easement, and I'll send it to Benson. Well, he's been dealing directly with Rockwell, I know, it's calling him directly, so he may have the survey before I.
Let's see if we can get that wrapped up at our next meeting. Then we're ready to go.
Just do, does that include this invoice or we wanna attack?
We'd have to probably approve to pay that. Where have we been taking that from?
I don't remember, but we can pull it from the same place. Do you want to wait to approve it until after your next meeting? Until? Up to you.
It's not due till November 27th, so let's wait.
Yeah. Next meeting.
Anything else, Kelly?
Yes. On here. We had that request. We have the rest of it for that property, that the family didn't want anymore. I can give you copies of these, but just to give you an idea of it, we're in Holiday Woods, aren't we? Out in Holiday Woods, you wanted to know what we owned out there. Currently, we only have 3 parcels of ground out there. It's in the public area there. These are just, so I don't know if you guys have copies of these or not. However, there are, let me see if she did get a count on this. No. It's, oh, that's extra. Yeah. 23 and 23 is what, 46? Currently, there are 67 parcels out there that would qualify for you to take title because they've been no bids for so long. The commissioners could take title to those. And I am working on getting you a map of that area, so of all of those, you can see exactly where they all lie. They're all over the place. So just something to keep in mind. There are that many out there that you could do something with and try and get some of these back on the tax roll. What the property looks like out there, I couldn't tell you. We probably need to do a drive-by.
Code enforcement, I spent many days out there. We had that camp make requests as well for additional property, so need to maybe.
Look at how it's all mapped out.
Right.
See what would make the best use of it all.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Kelly, and continue just to get it mapped out for us.
Okay. And then at some point, you need to let us know what to tell the individuals. You want to see the map first before you tell them? Okay. I've got Tony working on that right now, Tony and Sarah. Okay.
Because we could actually not take all that and just put it out there for a proposal and, you know, minimum bid $1 or something and let it see where it goes.
See where it goes, sure.
And if it's the church camp, and they bid $1 for it and nobody else bids, then
Right. Yeah. Someone truly wants it and can do something with it, I think that's.
okay. All right, there you go.
All right, I will get, like I said, they're working on that right now for me, so once you get that, we'll add all the other ones to that.
If you wanted to respond to that family, that's really to do that, tell them we're looking at just a little bigger picture in that particular neighborhood. Take us another couple of weeks.
Do we need to bring back up the other one where there were concerns about? Is that being handled still?
They haven't told me that it's done. Stuff's just done.
The, there was a,
So like,
yeah,
has code enforcement been out there?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's up to them to.
Yes.
okay,
Yeah, they are,
Letter.
they're working, yeah.
okay,
That's been my thought.
Yes.
okay.
I suppose
Because,
if you wanted to let the complainant know that we have moved that on to code.
okay, because you were still getting, yeah, she's still getting emails and calls on that, so, okay.
Maybe have code enforcement provide us with an update.
Do you have anything else? No? I don't at this time?
Nope. Recess.
Hey,